Hey, what's good with you guys, man? So we got some interesting boxing news to talk about. We are well, I'm not gonna say officially. Mike Coppinger is reporting that the Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman fight is being finalized, but the kicker is the fight will be at 154 pounds instead of at welterweight, which is 147 pounds, and Errol Spence titles will not be they will not be on the line since it's at 154. Now there's some little twists, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why PBC they're playing chess in the situation, right? I feel like they win this side of it regardless of how it plays out. And I, because honestly, realistically, I don't think anybody thinks Keith Thurman can beat Errol Spence. So unless he pulls off an upset, everything plays out fine, right? And if Keith Thurman was to beat Spence is still in the driver's seat, right? So because none of his belts are on the line, so he still sets up for a potential Terrence Crawford fight. But this is why I'm saying they're playing chess. You have Keith Thurman coming up to 154, so none of the titles on the line. Oh, before I get into that, right? In the article, it says that after this Keith Thurman and Errol Spence fight, the WBA president is giving Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford 60 days to negotiate for a undisputed fight. If that fight isn't, they don't work everything out within those 60 days, the mandatory will be called for Stanionis and Virgil to get that title shot for the WBA belt. Because I think right now they're fighting for, I don't know if is it the interim? I can't remember, or regular. I can't remember which one it is, but they're fighting for a WBA belt, a Reggie belt. I could say, right. So that'll put them in line, and they have to make that fight happen now. So, Keith Thurman, and this is why PBC is playing chess. Keith Thurman was already a mandatory at 147 for the WBC belt to fight Spence. But this is why it's smart, because Spence he could be an asshole and just drop the belts and move up, and then Keith Thurman have to fight a regular mandatory. He's not getting a payday. This Spence fight is getting him a payday. He's on the back side of his career, so I don't know how many fights he has left. So you get to go up and weight. You don't lose your mandatory status at 147. So you're going up to fight Spence at 154. If you lose, you still number one in the WBC ranking. So when Spence and potentially the winner of Spence and Crawford, if they fight, you're right in line once the belts are dropped. Because I'm pretty sure Terrence Crawford probably drop, and I don't think he wants to pay all those sanctioning fees for all the belts, whether he wins or loses. So, but like I said, if the fight doesn't happen, already know Spence is moving up. So Spence is already at 154. So you got to get a little. He didn't get to fight the best at 154, but he got to get acclimated to 154 already. His body, he should already know what a training camp uh and how he wants to go about things. He'll already know how that feels, right? So he'll get used to it. He's already gonna move into the top 10 of the rankings in that probably almost every sanctioning body except for the WBO. But like I said, he get acclimated to the division, and he's still not losing his belt if he loses to Thurman. So it's a win-win, man. This is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's forcing Terrence Crawford's hand, but this is the best play PBC can make considering the circumstances. Because you got guys like Jerron Anderson hungry for a title shot, Virgil, Stanionis, Keith Thurman. Um, I don't really know if there's anybody in the WBO that's I don't know if anybody's really gunning for the WBO spot. I don't think I think Virgil was number one at one point, but he kind of passed up on the opportunity, and he decided to go the WBA route. So the main killers that's young and you don't really get a payday for will be like the Virgils and the Boots and standing owners. You're not getting paid. You ain't getting paid that much. Like, so for Spence, it's like, bro, I've been killing myself to make these weight cuts to get to 147 for so long. If I ain't fighting for a big payday or a belt, I ain't fighting here no more. So, um, This is his last chance. He got to fight Thurman. I'm pretty sure Al talked to Thurman behind the scenes like, look, we're gonna get you this payday. You win, fine. You lose, you still back in line for a title shot. So that's two decent checks you're gonna get. You're gonna get a title shot. I'm pretty sure whoever's in the WBC ranking. Let me see. Let's see. I just want to see the WBC rankings for 147. Who he'll probably have to fight. Given if Spence wins and he drops the belt. So, that put him back in line for Ugas. Ugas is number 3 in the WBC rankings. I'm on Boxing Scene, so the rankings. So I'm pretty sure these are updated, but your Ugas is number 3, and that's a veteran. That's a good fight for him. Cody Crowley's number 4. So unless Ugas' eye hasn't healed, you could get a Keith Thurman versus Cody Crowley, but realistically, I think I haven't seen Ugas post much about his eye lately, but nonetheless, that's a really good fight, and it's a winnable fight for Keith Thurman, even though I don't think he could beat Ugas. But coming off the eye injury, we don't know how Ugas is going to turn out. I'm pretty sure probably hasn't been in the gym working as hard lately until that eye was 100%. So, and they'll probably even give Ugas like something like a little tune-up before he gets in there. With like a Keith Thurman. So honestly, this is a good play for all parties involved, man. And we're gonna see what Terrence Crawford wants to do, man. Depending on what Crawford does, we'll see how this plays out, man. If he doesn't like what's being offered to him in the deal for Spence, then we'll likely see Keith Thurman. We'll likely see Spence stay at 154 after this Keith Thurman fight, and we'll start seeing these mandatories calls. So, Stanionis versus Virgil. That's pretty much they just gonna be elevated to the super champion between those guys. Then you got Jaron Ennis, IBF. He'll probably fight one more person to get the no, because he just fought for an interim title. So Jaron Ennis will be elevated to the IBF champion. WBO. If Crawford loses, well, no, because in this scenario, Crawford is not even fighting. So we'll see how that plays out with the WBO. But you don't really have too many killers there. You got Alexis Rocha, beatable, real beatable. Cody Crowley, Rashidi Ellis just lost. So we'll see how those rankings change since Rashidi Ellis just got upset. So we'll see how things changes in the WBO. But for the most part, this will still be a competitive division. Just interesting to see how things play out. And with that being said, I'm gonna head up out of here. Let me know what you guys think. Is PBC playing chess or nah, bruh? I'm out.